Hey my friend, Adam here, and in this video I'm going to show you how I got ChatGPT to build me an entire marketing campaign from start to finish, including ads, social media posts, blog posts, email sequences, an SMS sequence, and a sales page. Now I admit, it all sounds a little too good to be true, and I was a little bit skeptical going into this project. I mean, could a robot really replace a professional human marketer? Well, my friend, if you're anything like me, then the answer may surprise you. So, I'll show you how I created every single word of an entire marketing campaign using ChatGPT, how it all turned out, and most importantly of all, I'll show you how you can do all of this too in order to get better results faster than ever before. And it all starts by first understanding a few simple rules and guidelines in order to get the absolute most out of ChatGPT. So, let me show you how it's done, starting with that. When it comes to using ChatGPT in order to help you create content, sales, and marketing materials, there's a few important things that you need to know. Number one, it does best when coming up with content and ideas from 2021 and before. This means if you're in an industry that relies on cutting-edge technology or that changes quickly, there are going to be some limitations that you're going to need to work around. Number two, ChatGPT is a robot. I mean, technically it's a generative pre-trained transformer based on natural language techniques that provides answers to questions in a conversational tone. But that makes it sound way too confusing, so we're just gonna call it a robot. A robot that is amazing at doing what you tell it to do, but nothing else. Which means that the quality of the answers that you get is directly proportional to the quality of the questions that you ask. So I'll show you how to phrase your requests for maximum impact in just a minute. Then number three, ChatGPT is one of the most powerful tools I've seen when it comes to generating text, but for images, landing pages, and other creative elements, you're gonna wanna look at other resources. Fortunately, I've got you covered there with a few more nifty tools that you're definitely gonna wanna check out as well. Okay, so with that said, let's talk about prompts next, which are the key to getting the absolute best results possible. Like I said before, the key to getting good stuff out of ChatGPT is by first putting good stuff in. This means asking good questions or giving good prompts. For example, rather than just asking ChatGPT to write you something like, say, a Facebook ad, which in this case gives me back a random example of a Facebook ad for a product and a service that I don't even offer, sell, or promote, you'll want to use the following guidelines and parameters instead in order to make sure that you end up with something that's actually usable. So let's try again using this framework. Write me a kind of text that is style and tone, highlighting/featuring characteristics. So in this example, that works out to write me a Facebook ad that is persuasive, funny, and conversational, and highlight the benefits and importance of marketing strategy. And after reading the ad over, well, it's not too bad, but it could be better. And I think what would be the most beneficial here would be to create a second version of the ad. You see, the original ad that ChatGPT cooked up looks like it's targeting and focusing mostly on people that already own a business, which is fantastic. But I think I'd like ChatGPT to give me another option aimed at people who are wanting to or thinking of starting a business in the future. So let's update that now by asking it to write another version of this ad focusing on and targeting people who want to start a business. And I'll be honest, this one looks pretty good to me. I mean, maybe a few tweaks here and there, but overall, I'm gonna call this a winner. Now, before moving on to the sales page, I'd like to generate an image to use alongside of this ad, but in order to do that, we're gonna need to step outside of ChatGPT for just a second. But that gives me an opportunity to introduce you to another couple pieces of powerful software in order to generate an almost unlimited supply of AI-powered images and graphics. The first piece of software that I'm going to use here is called DALL-E, now known as DALL-E 2. Just like ChatGPT, DALL-E is also powered by OpenAI, the company behind them both, and is a pretty neat AI system that can create realistic images and art from a description in natural language. For example, let's say that I decide that being lost at sea, stranded alone in a rowboat in the middle of the ocean is a pretty good metaphor for the modern entrepreneur who's struggling to figure out their overall marketing strategy. Well, I could ask DALL-E to get me a photo of a man on his computer in a rowboat in the middle of the ocean. Now, I don't really like these very much, so I'm going to try again using a 3D image instead. Still not loving them. How about an animated image? Maybe a pixel image? I'm not loving this either, and that dude looks naked, which is never gonna fly, so let's try something else. Maybe an image of a person scared and alone with a computer. This one's fine, I guess, but we could do better. And if I decide that I also want to create a retargeting ad alongside this one, I figure it's best to probably use an image of myself as well, which is going to make a bigger impact with those who are already familiar with me and with my content. So for that, I'm going to use a piece of software called Lensa. Lensa is an AI-powered image editing app that allows you to upload a whole bunch of different selfies, then it works its magic and it gives you back a whole pack of different images that have all been edited and tweaked and modified using AI. Now, this one costs a few bucks to use, so it isn't free, but it is pretty crazy in regards to the quality and the variety of images that you get back. So after looking through all of these, I think this one's probably gonna work just fine. Next, let's hop back into ChatGPT to get it to write the sales page for the Digital Marketing Academy now. When it comes to writing longer form content like sales pages, email sequences, long form blog posts, video scripts, or podcast outlines, all the same rules and guidelines apply. Meaning, the secret here is to give ChatGPT as many good, clear, and relevant inputs as you can, and then don't be afraid to tweak and change things once it's had a chance to work its magic. So let me get it to write a sales page now, based on the Facebook ad it wrote before. Alright, now, overall, it's okay. Sure, there are some important points it's missing and some things that aren't entirely accurate about the program, but overall, it's not terrible. That said, I would like it to be longer, which is the perfect point to remind you of the obvious fact that ChatGPT is a robot and therefore just does whatever you tell it to. It's not a mind reader, and if this is what it thinks a sales page should be, then that's what you're gonna get. But that doesn't mean that you need to accept it. This is why the next step is to get it to do exactly what I want, with just a little bit of creativity and a few extra commands. For example, I know that one of the biggest benefits of the Digital Marketing Academy is the fact that it shows you how to create a complete marketing strategy from A to Z. And in my humble but accurate opinion, having a complete marketing strategy is one of the single most important elements to marketing and to business success. So what I could do then is ask ChatGPT to write me a 500-word blog post on the importance of marketing strategy. And unsurprisingly, it's not half bad either. And I can use parts of this on the sales page, as well as use the entire thing as a standalone blog post in order to drive even more traffic to the course. Plus, I think there's also enough good stuff in here that I could ask ChatGPT to turn it into a few different social media posts as well. So let's get ChatGPT to do this now by asking it to turn this blog post into a few different shorter social media posts. Now, like before, I probably could make a few tweaks here and there in order to make sure that it accurately reflects the Digital Marketing Academy, as well as comes off in my tone and my style. But in all honesty, I could probably just copy and paste this and put it directly as an Instagram caption or a Facebook post or a YouTube community post, or maybe even trim a few words out and post it as a tweet. And all of this took seconds, not minutes, not hours, certainly not days, which is kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. But wait, there's more. Sounds like I work for ChatGPT. This video is not sponsored. You see, next I can also ask it to write me an email sequence to sell the course. And well, there we go. And might as well get it to write a 3-part SMS sequence as well. Yep, not bad, but it's a little bit long for an SMS, so I'll get it to make it even shorter. And you can continue to refine and adjust and make further tweaks until you're left with what can only be described as a pretty good piece of marketing material. But wait, there's more. No, I'm not kidding, there's actually a lot more. For example, let's say that I want to make the course even more internationally accessible. Well, no problem. I can ask ChatGPT to translate this sequence, or anything else that I put into it, into pretty much any language I can think of. Let's do Spanish for now. Ah, bueno. Then maybe Portuguese. Ah, bom. And how about Japanese too, while we're at it? Ah, yoi. Crazy, right? And as the technology continues to evolve and become more adopted by others in the business community, we'll just keep seeing new uses and practical ways to use this in order to help us create better marketing and more profitable, streamlined, and efficient businesses. That said, like I said in the beginning, the biggest limitation with ChatGPT and almost all AI technologies out there right now is that they're basically robots that operate on mathematically programmed algorithms, which means there's still a need for creative and strategic thinking in order to know what to ask them for or what to tell them to do in the first place. But if you'd like to see even more examples on how to use ChatGPT in your marketing, as well as a few other of the most important marketing trends and strategies going on right now, then you're definitely going to want to check out this video right here next, as it's loaded with some of my best marketing tactics and strategies. So make sure to check that out now, and I'll see you in there in just a second.